Alright, this is an attempt to kind of explain what retirement funding is all about. Now, a little bit of retirement funding is backwards thinking. So you don't think about saving up for retirement until you figure out how much you need for retirement. So let's look at an idea first off. Let's make this green circle the bank. So this is the bank. And let's make the red circle you. Now, generally when you borrow money, the money comes from the bank, so they have the money, and they give you all of the money. Now, what happens after they give you the money is you have to, pay it back. So you give back to the bank monthly payments, thus reducing the amount of the loan, and the bank earns the loan plus the interest. So they get the loan money and the interest over time. So what retirement is about is the reverse picture of this. What you're going to do is you're going to accumulate an amount of money, and you're going to technically take that amount of money that you accumulate. So you're going to save up this money over here. And remember, this side is you, and this side is the bank. So you're going to accumulate all of this money for yourself, well, in the bank, but it's not a loan yet. And then you're going to let it sit in the bank. Let me get that circle out of the way. You're going to let it sit in the bank as you retire. Now, as you retire, what's going to happen is the bank is now going to pay you monthly payments. You can think of it this way, so that you can live off of things. Monthly payments for your monthly cost of living. And you want to make sure that you're going to get enough money per month, and you want to make sure that it's going to last until, well, you die, or someone else has to take care of you. So the essence is you save up enough money, and then you just let it sit in the bank. And technically, when you let money sit in the bank, you're loaning money to the bank. And then as you make withdrawals, you're technically just making monthly payments that the bank owes you per month. And as you withdraw, you're going to earn the loan amount plus interest. So as you're withdrawing it, this thing is still earning interest, and therefore you don't have to earn as much as if there was no interest whatsoever. Alright, so to do this, we're going to have to do a couple of things. Number one, you have to figure out, let's add a new page here, what you need. To figure out what you need for retirement, number one, find cost of living per month today. Now, if you make the assumption that you will not have a mortgage when you retire, then subtract off the mortgage fee from what your cost of living is today. Find in years to retirement what this value is in future money. In the future, you're going to need more money because as time goes on, money becomes worth less. So here you're going to have to take into account inflation. So you're going to inflate your cost of living today into the cost of living tomorrow. All right, 3, use a loan calculator to find the loan you're going to give to the bank amount. In other words, how much money do you need to save up so that if you start withdrawing it on a monthly basis, it'll last long enough for you to live on? And then when you find out that amount, create a savings plan. and that will use a savings calculator. So that as you retire, say you're going to start working today and you're going to save up for 30 years, you create a savings plan that saves a certain amount of money per month, so you can come up with the loan calculation amount of how much you're going to withdraw from a month. So that's the basis of it. So you create how much you need in the future, and then you create the savings plan to come up with that amount in the future. All right, so to do that, I have 2 links that are required, but you also need to do a little, footwork. So the footwork is this cost of living and inflation. So let's say, for instance, for example, let me change the thickness of this. You estimate a monthly cost of, let's say, $2,200 now, and inflation is, well, again, estimated at 4%. Inflation has been anywhere between like negative 20% and positive 25% for the United States. But over a span of years, it averages between 3 and 4%. So I'm just going to go for the higher part. So we're going to guess that inflation is 4%. To find out how much you're going to need in the future, all we need to do is a little compound interest on this. So the compound interest formula, and plug in what we know. Oh, I usually use F here nowadays. Used to use A. Let's get rid of that A. F. So F equals, and now we have to spend $2,200 a month to live. Inflation is going to go up at 4% per year, so you just get 0.04 divided by 1, which is 0.04. And then N, of course, is 1, and let's say we're going to retire after 30 years of working. So in the future value, this money, let's see here, 2,200, 1 plus 0.04 raised to the 30, we're going to need approximately $71.35 per month in the future. So 30 years in the future, this is how much we're going to be spending per month just to live. All right, from that, we can find everything else out about this retirement. So keep this in mind, the $71.35. We're going to come over here to my link for finding the loan amount from the payment. It's a very hard link to find, so if you want, I would highly suggest you save this one. So what we want is, I didn't give you a savings rate. So let's say we have all our plan. We're going to put in an IRA, a savings account, some bonds, maybe some stocks. And we estimate that we're going to earn about 6% per year, or no, per month on this investment. Let's say after we retire, we're going to be 65, and we're going to estimate we're going to live for another 20 years. Well, that would be 240 payments to ourselves that we have to make. We're not making any down payment. And the desired monthly payment is this amount over here, the $71.35. So I'll put in $71.35, and then we'll just hit calculate loan amount. This is how much money we need to save up and let it sit in a bank account and withdraw from it as if we've lent the money to the bank and they're making monthly payments back to us. And that monthly payment would be this $71.35. All right, so what we do with this number is then we take that number, and I'm going to copy it, and we're going to put it into another website, the savings plan. So where is it? Savings plan calculator. So click here, and let's see here. I'll blow it up so it's easier to see. So I don't have anything available today. Let's just assume we have nothing. The interest rate, we're assuming we're going to earn 6% on all of our investments. Our savings goal is that amount the other website told us, and I'm going to get rid of the comma and the dollar sign. You have to use the right arrow. If you just click someplace, it goes away. And we're going to do this for the number of years that we're going to work, which is 30. And this will tell us how much we need to save per month to end up with almost $1 million. So then we can turn around and withdraw about $7,000 a month for the next 20 years. So hit calculate, and this one says about $991. All right, so if we save $991 a month for 30 years, we'll accumulate about $1 million. From that $1 million, we're going to borrow $71.35 for the next 20 years, depleting that $1 million, and then hopefully that'll be the end of our life. Otherwise, we'll be without money for a few years. All right, so what I did next was, where is it? I created a spreadsheet of this. Now I have it in one huge column now, but the way I had it originally was these first 360 payments. I made a payment of $991 every single month. I earned interest on the account every single month, and it increased our balance. This is that systematic savings spreadsheet. On the bottom of this, after month 360, I assume I retired. So here's 360. It was the last deposit I made of $991 to bring my balance up to that really close, almost to $1 million. And the month after that, I retired already. No one's going to be giving me money, well, Social Security and whatnot. And here I start withdrawing money to live on. And it's that $7,000 that we came up with earlier. So the difference between this formula, which has the deposit plus the interest plus the previous balance, so it's all addition straight across. We're increasing our account with deposits and interest. When we get down to one of these amounts, you can see that it's the balance previously minus the $7,000 and then plus the interest that you earned from the previous month. So as one is always going up, this one is going to be going down, but not as fast as if it wasn't with interest. Over here you're earning like $4,000 in interest, which isn't too bad, but as time goes on you lose money out of this account. So as time goes on, the money in the amount or in the balance goes down. That's over here, and as it goes down, it eventually reaches zero after 600 months, which is what is that, 50 years? Alright, so I did a graph of this also. So here's my chart. And here's the first part where you're saving your money and earning interest. And you get up to that $1 million. And then you start withdrawing money from it, and it starts going down until your 600th month. So that's how retirement plans work. Now this is a very simplified one. It doesn't include Social Security. It doesn't include inflation over the last 20 years. So you probably would have to deplete your account a little quicker because of inflation.